What is up, Geek Army? It's your boy Danny here with quick Speakdom, which might not be so quick. Haven't done one of these in a couple weeks, and I wanted to get some things off my chest and kind of rant a little bit. I haven't done a rant in a while, and I'm a little sick, all right? Before I go any further, I'm still getting over a little bit of a cold, a little bit of, I have like a sinus infection or something, so my voice is not going to be as loud as it would be if I was at 100% strength. I'm at like 50%, like Frieza Namek, but and I'm doing that cool little pose too, by the way, that he does. I'm doing that right now, but I wanted to rant or talk or get this off my chest here about people on the internet and the internet in general. Now, I have a very love-hate relationship for the internet because there's pros and cons to the internet. And yeah, there's pros and cons to everything, but with the internet has allowed, and this new like technological world, the internet and this new world of texting and Instagram and all that has really allowed people to essentially live in a world that is an escape from reality. You know, when I was a kid, I remember watching, and a lot of people who are my age, late 20s, early 30s, you remember seeing a lot of the old kind of TV shows where they would talk about, use your imagination. They would say, use your imagination. Your imagination's everything. And I think that people growing up in this generation really have taken that to a new level. Now, a few weeks ago on my Twitter, I made a comment which may or may not have offended some people. And I said that any male born after the year 1989, unless he really develops differently and develops the right way, is going to have some problems later in life. And part of this is because of the internet, all right? It's not the people themselves. I know a lot of you guys were born after 1990, so this is not anything personal towards you. In fact, I think you guys are going to be okay. I'm talking about a particular group of people. This technological era has really dehumanized us and made us into, essentially, it's made men of this era, men who were raised in the late 90s, early 2000s, or in the 2000s, a lot of them, again, I'm generalizing here, have pretty much grown up on the internet. And if you grow up on the internet, that gives you the ability to essentially create your own identity. And we all do it. I'm Geekdom. Quinn is QAAMAN. Juan is BLACKENFIST. Jay is Super JAYAIN. That's his real name. Everybody who you know on YouTube, Dino is, well, he calls himself Dino, but it's rhyme style. We all have kind of created this avatar, alter ego of ourselves, and that's fine, but there's people who use it in a negative way. Now, one thing I will say is that I actually really do love YouTube, and I love each and every one of you. I like talking to you about Dragon Ball. I like putting videos out about Dragon Ball. I like hearing your opinions, which is why I did a video yesterday wanting to hear your opinion about, the 7th chapter of the manga. And it's one of those things where there are lots of things I absolutely love about the web. I get to reunite with old friends. I get to talk to people who I would have never met before. I would have never known Jay or Quinn or any of these guys if it wasn't for the internet. So the internet, there is a lot of positives to this, okay? A lot of positives. But the negative side really, really bugs me. I want to talk about kind of where this rant even came from. But before I do, I just want to say that, like, a lot of people who are kind of raised on the web, they create these fake identities, and essentially it makes them cowards. That's what I consider them, as cowards, because they're able to go on the web and say whatever they want, do whatever they want without any repercussions. You can be a racist on the web without having to worry about being looked at as one. You can pretend to be a tough guy and say bullshit on the web when you know damn well that there's no repercussions, because the other person's on the other side of the world. And if you really are one of those people who is what I would call a keyboard warrior, who talks a lot of shit on the web, but you know in real life you can't back it. And here's the bottom line, guys. Look, I've been around the block a few times. I have been in very hostile environments in my life, which I'm not going to get into. But here's the bottom line, guys. If you really are one of those guys that goes on the internet and threatens and talks shit and you know, just purposely acts like a douchebag, I know for a fact that there's something going on missing in your life. And what you should do is try to find what's missing rather than try to bring everybody else down. Because people who have shit going on in their lives, people who are running businesses, people who are contributing to society in a positive way, who have families, who have loved ones, who have friends, they don't do that shit. They don't need to do that shit. You don't need to do that shit. So there is a group on the internet right now, a group of fans whose lives lack such meaning. They are so vacuous, so goddamn miserable, that they have to bring everybody else down to their level. And the problem is that they will fail. There's a group of fans on the web right now, a Facebook group, that has purposely took it upon themselves to purposely spite Disney and spite Star Wars, J.J. Abrams, everybody involved in the new Star Wars movie. And I'm going to get to Dragon Ball because there's something, this is related to Dragon Ball too, don't get me wrong, because there's similarities here. Because they're mad that Disney made the expanded universe, which for those who don't know is a series of books, novels, same thing, comic books and video games and things like that were published independently from George Lucas and from LucasArts or Lucasfilm. They as far as Lucasfilm, as far as you know, they've been out for years, okay? But Disney made it non-canon. When Disney bought the rights to Star Wars, they decanonized all this, which again, I feel bad for them in a way because yes, these stories you grew up with are now no longer count. I can understand you feeling bad about that, but if you want to be vocal about it, if you want to boycott the movie, if you want to send emails to Disney, if you want to rant on the web and get people to rally to your cause, that's one thing. But what these guys are doing is they're basically going around and purposely spoiling the movie for other people. They are going on Facebook and changing their Facebook profile pictures to a screenshot from a very, very, very important twist in the movie, a very pivotal scene. They are purposely commenting results and spoilers from the movie on random non-Star Wars, non-sci-fi YouTube videos and groups. So if you're on YouTube and you're looking up videos about Donald Trump and shit, you might see a Star Wars spoiler in the comment section. Not only does that piss me off, because I want to talk to people in my comment section. I want people to comment. I don't want people to be afraid to comment because they haven't seen the fucking movie. But it pisses off, it bothers me because of what they're doing to essentially their fellow fans. If you actually have the time, if you can take time out of your day to actually go around spoiling the movie for people who haven't seen it, newsflash, buddy, you're not hurting Disney. Disney is going to make money no matter what. You've already lost. Just like Luke said in Return of the Jedi to the Emperor, you've already lost. He didn't say that specifically, but he pretty much told him that. Disney's already made millions. They're going to keep making it. You ain't going to stop it. You are not. 4,000 people on the internet are not going to stop this movie from making people fucking money. All you're going to do is piss people off. And you're not attacking, you're not hurting Disney. You're hurting your fellow fans. You are hurting the same people who have the same emotional attachment to these characters and grew up with them and love them and want to see them again. By spoiling this movie, you're ruining the experience for another fan. You're not hurting Disney. You're not. You're fucking hurting people like you. All due respect to Timothy Zahn, but you're doing it because you can't get over the fact that his fan fiction is no longer canon. I mean, I respect the fuck out of those. That's the fucked up thing, is I actually like the Expanded Universe books, the ones that I've seen. I like a lot of them. I really do. But I don't like this cause. And the thing is, it's similar in Dragon Ball but different, okay? If you look at my channel, virtually every time that I've talked about spoilers for either Dragon Ball or Star Wars, I have said spoiler warning, spoiler warning, spoiler warning, and everything. Keep listening at your own, at your own consent, right? Here's the reality, guys. I have a number of Star Wars Force Awakens speculation / spoiler videos on my channel, and after seeing the movie, 80% of what I had was pretty much accurate. So if you wanted spoilers for this movie, my channel gave it to you. You got spoilers for the storyline. They were on my channel. And yet, I always made sure in every video to say, warning, we're going to go into spoiler territory or possible spoiler territory. Please be warned. That's different. But for somebody to actually purposely go out and spoil this movie because you are pissed off at a decision that a corporation made, so you're taking it out on the fan base who just wants to see a movie, fuck you, bro. Here's the reality of who you are. And before I get into my final rant, I just want to say about Dragon Ball. With Dragon Ball Super, it's a little bit different. Because with Dragon Ball Super, we have the Toyotaro manga, which is ahead of the anime, and we have the anime. Now, if you want to avoid anime spoilers, it's a lot harder to do than with Star Wars. Why? Because Toei is commissioning official manga. This is not speculation. This is not... Toyotaro's story in the manga is supposed to be close, not identical, I'm sure, but close to what's happening in the anime. So the manga is going to leak. You're going to see manga pictures. Essentially, the manga is the first story and the anime adapts the manga, even though the anime does not really adapt the manga. It adapts the Toriyama story that he wrote, the manuscript or whatever. But nonetheless, it's different for Dragon Ball because you're going to have more readily accessible spoilers. And even then, I still like to put spoiler warning on my videos that I talk about that. And of course, if you see something that says manga chapter 7, you're going to know it's ahead of the anime, so you should not click it if you don't want any spoilers. But it's harder for Dragon Ball because if there was no Toyotaro manga, it'd be a totally different story. We would go into Super every week not knowing what was going to happen. We wouldn't know. But Toei's purposely commissioning through Shueisha and all that and Jump this manga. With Dragon Ball, it's a little different, but nonetheless still, I try my best, I genuinely do, to give people the option. And as a YouTuber, like, I want you to watch my videos. Every YouTuber wants you to watch their videos. But I'm giving you the choice not to. I'm saying don't click it if you don't want to be spoiled. And retention's very important on YouTube. If you watch a video and you click off of it, it hurts us. It hurts YouTubers. But I say it because I care. I say every video, spoiler warning. I don't just start talking shit. So, to these people who are actually purposely going around spoiling Star Wars The Force Awakens, fuck you. Seriously, fuck you. Your lives have absolutely no fucking meaning because people who actually have meaning in their lives don't do that shit, man. They're doing productive things in their life. They're doing things that can help out their community, whether it be an online community or their actual community in person. I think that you are complete scum. I think that you are a complete, just empty human being. You're not funny. It's not funny. Nobody laughs at you doing that. And I'm sure these fucks are probably giving themselves high fives because they have no real friends. These guys don't have real friends. They just talk on the internet all fucking day on chat. They chat all fucking day. And give each other internet high fives. Oh, look, I spoiled this. I spoiled that. And it's like, here's the reality. Here's the reality. I know in my life, I swear to you, I know a lot of attractive women throughout my life. I have been friends with, I have dated, extremely attractive women. 8s, 9s, and 10s. And I'm not talking about physically, Kayla, in case you're listening. I'm talking about not just physically, but also good women who have good things to bring to the table. And good women, quality women who you want to marry, not just have sex with, are not turned on by whiny, pussy-ass keyboard warriors. This is a fact. Women who are 8s, 9s, and 10s are way too busy dealing with successful men and choosing which successful man or which man that can stimulate her emotionally to choose from than to waste time talking to some loser who's mad because Disney wanted to tell their own story. And the fucked up thing is that the fucking Force Awakens is a tribute in many ways to those books. There's tons of tributes to those books and shout outs, man. It's almost in some ways like a retelling of some of those stories. And it's like, it just boggles my mind how they can actually, in their head, put that together and think that would actually be a positive contribution to society. And this is why sometimes I hate people. You have way too much time on your hands. Attractive women don't like you and never will. And if you're into men, and there's nothing wrong with that, they're not going to like you either. Animals aren't going to like you. And worst of all, I sure as fuck ain't going to like you. And if anybody knows me, you know not to get on my bad side. That's a big fucking mistake. So if you're out there, if you're watching this video and you're spoiling the movie for people purposely, unsubscribe and go away. Please, just go away and find some meaning in your miserable existence. Honestly, your mother should have fucking swallowed you rather than fucking taking the cum and giving birth to you. Sorry I had to take that. It's just amazing that people just have no sense of self-awareness, no self-esteem. Like, they just don't care. And it's all because they're behind the keyboard. Because they know that if they were face-to-face with one of those fans, I'm not saying the fan would punch them in the face, but I know a few fans that would. Because you're fucking pussies and you're fucking cowards. I'll catch you down the road.